Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels, where my guest today is Patrick Horvath. Did I pronounce that right? I forgot to
You
ask.
did.
Hey, hey!
Ha ha
Woohoo!
ha!
Every time I assume, oh, I don't need to ask, this is obvious, is when I remind myself that, people can pronounce everything in a million different ways, and that's okay and should be encouraged. And it's my job to get it right. But particularly when we chat beforehand, I like just it goes over my head. And it is Patrick, not Patrick or
Correct.
I actually had that once where I thought it was the last name that I was going to have trouble with. And it turns out that if I had forgotten to ask before we aired, I would have gotten the last I would have gotten both the last name and the first name wrong.
Just completely across
Right.
the board wrong.
Right. But I would have gotten the last name wrong in a way that I had considered. And I would have gotten the last name wrong because I went, oh, okay, my hunch is to go this way, but I'm going to go that way. And it would have been this way.
Yeah.
Like the obvious American way would have been this way. But I'm like, oh, he's from France. So I'm going to go this way. Nope. It was the
It
way
was
that.
the obvious American way.
But I forgot that Steph or Stephen is often Stefan.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So now that I've said enough, it was Stefan Frank, who I totally would have called Stephen Frank if
You
if
hadn't
I
double.
hadn't
It's
remembered
always
to
good to
ask
double
ahead of
check.
time.
Well, you nailed it with mine. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
hey.
It's Hungarian. It literally means Croatian and Hungarian.
Oh, so Patrick the Croatian
It's exactly what it is. I
from
believe
Hungary.
I believe my lineage was basically forced out of Croatia probably during the Ottoman Empire, ended up in Hungary, and then came to New Jersey.
Okay. I mean, that's where most people go.
I mean, yeah.
And then from New Jersey to Los Angeles, which makes less sense, but okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was New Jersey to Iowa for a while, a
Oh,
long
okay.
time. And
Okay.
then
I know
Chicago
Iowa
myself.
too well.
Oh, right on. And then
Chicago
yeah,
too?
Chicago for
Oh, very
several
nice.
years from
Okay.
2003 to 2006.
Okay.
And then I ended up out here in 2006 in LA.
Okay. So you missed the really fun year to be a baseball fan in Chicago, but you got to
Yes.
see a couple of good years of being
Yeah,
a
yeah.
baseball fan in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah. Worked at
They
a
just involved heartbreak as well.
I worked at a video store in Boys Town,
Okay.
and just south of Wrigley,
Okay.
pretty much the whole time I was there.
Very cool.
Especially video, rest in peace. They don't exist anymore.
I
Not a lot of video
vaguely
stores
remember
left.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were great.
I vaguely remember. Yeah, no, even Family Video finally closed its
Oh, yeah.
doors. They were the ones that like kept it going
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. I mean, I
Blockbuster
feel
died and they
like,
like
yeah.
bought half of their properties because they had it down. It's like cheap rentals, make your
Yeah.
money by selling off the extra copies and candy.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I feel like at this point, there's still room for, I'm sure Facets is still around Chicago, and I bet Odd Obsession is still around. A lot of the specialty
Yeah,
catering to super cinephiles,
right,
very knowledgeable staff. And then they also probably have some other cool stuff going on or whatever. It's kind of the same situation in Los Angeles. We have
right.
several things, but man,
But
I miss the like people showing up on Tuesdays for new release
oh
day,
yeah,
like just
I
all
worked
that.
at Best Buy when it was the place to buy
Oh
music.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a
And and
fun
and
nexus of
I
pop
worked
culture,
at
man.
like two of the three biggest music departments in the country. So I mean, it was not just the place to buy music; it was like the place to buy
The
music.
underlined
Right,
the
right. I mean,
place. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
Especially
one that
during
was
like the
the
downfall of
one that
like Tower Records.
no, like the I mean, the one that was the biggest was in like on the Naperville Aurora border.
Okay.
So like 45 minutes from Chicago, and Billy Corgan showed up one day just shopping because he knew that we would have.
It's such an excellent Chicagoland area
You know what I mean? And
story.
again, it wasn't like we got him to come for a signing or anything like
He was
that.
just
He
randomly
was
there.
he was trying to be mostly under the radar, and we helped him
Uh-huh.
stay under the radar. It
That's so
was
fun.
We had 214 4-foot sections of music.
Oh, wow.
At any given
That's
time, we
incredible.
had between 2 and 300,000 CDs on hand.
That's insane.
You know, my still like my favorite day ever of work in any job I've had, even though overall my time at Best Buy doesn't totally rank high, my time in that music department does. Um, but so it's the day after Thanksgiving. We'd been freaking out all week because it was the year that they made all CDs 14.99 and under were a doorbuster. They were 4.99 from
Oh,
6
yeah.
a.m. until like noon.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And we're sitting there going, we don't have enough music. We are we are going to have empty
Yeah,
shelves
it's going to
by
be picked
noon.
through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's going to be
We're
picked through.
sending emails out all week long trying to get stuff in. We're not getting responses. We're freaking out. I got a phone call at 3 o'clock. I was supposed to be working like the 3 p.m. to midnight shift. I was second in charge of the department.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so the supervisor was working the morning and I was going to be working the afternoon. I got a call from my supervisor at like 3:15 a.m. because a semi truck had just pulled up
Oh, okay.
with nothing but music in it.
Yeah.
We got a single shipment of I think 117,000 CDs.
It's insane.
The most quantity on any given CD was 22 copies of the Titanic soundtrack. So it wasn't like we were getting case batches of 30 or
Yeah,
big
yeah, yeah,
case
yeah.
batches. 90% of it was onesie twosie stuff.
That's insane.
And of course, it's not sorted.
Right.
So she's like, I need you here to sort. So me and my buddy Joe, for literally the next 36 hours, we had a table in the back room that had tape in roughly the size of CDs for A
Oh my
through Z.
God. Oh
You
my
you
God.
know, I think Q and P got to share for the
Yeah.
most part, each letter would get a whole column, and
Oh
then
my
the
God.
jazz row and for the next 36 hours, all we're doing is sorting CDs, and the rest of the staff is coming back with library carts and emptying off these towers of CDs by letter.
Uh-huh. That's
As
insane.
but what I particularly love is all day long, it was like, oh, never seen this before. It goes on my pile. I
Right.
show it to Joe and he's like, oh, I need that too. So if you find it, so at the end of the day, we each had piles of like 50 CDs,
Oh my God.
most of which weren't even, I mean, it's when I got my Steve Goodman tribute album.
Oh,
John
right on.
Prine had put together
Yeah.
a fantastic, John Prine and Bonnie Raitt and all sorts of Chicago folk artists did a tribute to Steve Goodman. It's the first time I ever saw it in vinyl. I'd only listened to my
That's
Uncle
awesome.
Andy's old, or it's the first time I saw it on CD. I'd only listened to my Uncle Andy's old vinyl copy before that sort of thing. Um, I think we both got Green Day's first album, like the one before Kerplunk.
Oh, sure. Yeah. That's
You
awesome.
know, I, I think I got a copy of Green River, Stone Gossard's band before Mother Love Bone.
Yeah,
Mother
yeah,
Love Bone
yeah.
before Pearl Jam. Green
Before
River,
and before Mudhoney.
right.
Yeah.
um,
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, it's hilarious that
But
this resulted in, I wouldn't have imagined it would have resulted in deep cuts.
but what became completely awesome was as we took him up to the manager, because at the time you had to have the manager like go through Best Buy's discount was like 5% over cost. So
Okay.
rather than just having a set amount taken off at the register, the manager had to look up each item and
Oh, damn. Yeah.
pull up a report. And he just looked at our stacks and he's like, you guys have been working your asses off. Penny a piece. Just tell them to penny them out.
Oh, wow.
So we each got our stacks for like 50 cents.
Yes. Yes. This is awesome. Is this like
It was. It
97?
was
When was
amazing.
this?
It was I think yeah, I think it was 97 or 98.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
man. This is
Yeah.
like that is like the
Yeah.
zenith of
I think it
like
was 97. Yeah.
general physical media.
Yeah. 97. Christmas in 97, the
What
year
a
where
time.
the media department that I was part of, which was just, I mean, that was just a rocking team. I'm still proud of that team because just from music, movies, video games, and software, we were so good at keeping it in order. We were so good at helping people find what they wanted. We were so good at all of that stuff. We sold more in just our department in the month of December than any other store sold in their entire store
That's
in the month of
nuts.
December in the entire company. And we outsold 3 entire districts. We sold more dollars worth of CDs, movies, DVDs, etc. out of our store than like the 8 stores in Alabama sold total.
That's insane.
It's a rush too to just be that busy for.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember the first day after Thanksgiving, I didn't work. I had to go in just to watch. I wasn't
I
even going
mean,
to shop. I just had to
yeah,
go in to watch.
had to go tap into that juice, man.
Yeah, because I mean, there's something cool about having a train of people behind you that you're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
I need this, and you've got like 10 people behind you, and then you give something to 1 4 back, and the 3 in front of them start to get angry until they realize that you are keeping track of everything that everybody in line wants and not
Mhm.
walking past anything anybody wants. So you're still on your way to whatever the first person in line wants.
Right.
But if person 7 wants something that you walk past, it's like, here. I'm sorry, that's a crazy story to start off on. Tell me about Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which my wife has been describing, and I love it as Berenstein Bears with serial killers. Um,
I mean,
and
that's
and
essentially it. The best way
and
to, I mean, the
it's
best way
been
that,
sucking in many non-comics people
yes.
by describing it that way.
I mean, essentially, that is, I mean, that's the best way to go about it. That was initially when I pitched it. It was, if you were to imagine Richard Scarry's Busy Town, or which is
Okay,
sort of a stand-in for any sort of children's book thing.
right,
But Richard
right,
Scarry was top of my mind. And then you were to mix that up with basically Dexter.
yeah.
That's kind of what you get. It's this idyllic little town that's populated by anthropomorphic animal folks. And they're all very wholesome. One of the pillars of the community is Samantha the bear, who owns the hardware paint shop. And it just so happens that she's also a serial killer who's been thriving for the past
Just
couple of
just
decades.
so happens.
Yeah. And she's been doing very well. Big reason to that is that she's super careful about what she does and how she operates, and she doesn't do any of the killing in town, and instead does it in sort of the nearby larger city where disappearing people is not a huge problem. They're very concerning. It just kind of happens a lot. So folks can disappear from the city and it doesn't cause a huge issue, especially in the small little town that's away.
Well, and they
So
don't necessarily look for somebody in a
yeah,
small little
exactly.
town. They
Exactly.
look for somebody in the city.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes
precisely.
sense to me,
Yeah, that's why I did it.
but
That's
she's
why I
she's
wrote that
too
in.
sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still difficult
Hmm.
in a wonderful way, but
And so the
I mean,
problem,
I'm looking at her right now, and she looks so
it's very
nice.
cuddly, very earnest, it seems.
I mean,
Um,
even when she's got the buzz sander and she's
uh-huh.
building, she looks like the sweet old, the sweet mama bear just
Yeah,
holding a chair.
yeah.
You don't want to think that she might use that for something else.
Right, yeah. It just so happens she's very handy with it. And so everything's hunky dory until we realize that there is another killer in town. And they are a lot less careful and a lot more chaotic. And the problem is that,
And they're in town.
yeah, and the attention that they're causing and creating in town is very possibly going to lead to an investigation that may very well unearth what Samantha's been up to. And so the thrust is that she essentially has to find out who the other killer is in town and figure out how to deal with them before it gets out of hand.
So she has to be both serial killer and detective.
and detective. The serial killer detective bear.
I mean, it is kind of helpful that it seems like the town detective is, uh, a small town detective. Let's just call
Yeah,
it
yeah,
that.
yeah. The sheriff in town is very much a lackadaisical.
Yeah,
I very much made him into a
and it doesn't
droopy
feel
sort
like
of
he's got a
bloodhound.
Jessica Fletcher to help out.
No, no.
So,
The odds are in her favor. It's very much playing on this is a very naive town.
I mean, in a lot of ways, she seems like as I see her riding her bicycle with a basket on it, it's
Hmm.
like she's the Jessica Fletcher and the serial killer.
Pretty much. Very resourceful, very sharp. Um,
Is this what you were playing off of? The whole idea that Jessica Fletcher is really a serial killer?
Not
Everywhere she
necessarily,
goes, somebody
but I love it.
dies. I just look at I see I watched a lot of Murder She Wrote, in part because it was a show my mom liked, my
Oh,
grandma
right
liked,
on.
something we watched together. And like as I'm as soon as it popped into my head, as soon as I re-looked at here, I'll share my screen so you can know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, yeah.
As soon as I looked at this again, this top panel
Oh,
this
uh-huh.
top panel here, and then I'm like, and Jessica often had coats like that. I'm like, I can't unsee it anymore. This is the bear version of Jessica Fletcher,
I feel like you can lean into that and it would work. It would actually work out pretty well.
who also happens to be a serial killer.
Hmm. Hmm.
Which I mean, that's almost like the Fight Club Calvin and Hobbes theory.
I like that as well.
So yeah, you haven't done a lot of work before this. So tell
I
me
have
about
not.
pitching this. Tell me about how it. I mean, because this, how to put this? I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to be. It's more I'm in awe. This is like out there and crazy enough that it's a hard enough thing to get it approved by one of the bigger publishers to begin with. I would almost
Sure.
expect this to be self-published,
Sure,
right?
sure.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see this self-published, though not at
Hmm.
this quality, right? If you were at a table at SPX or Cake or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
this would make sense.
Yeah, yeah,
And I would hopefully one day be the publisher that went, "Oh, we need to get you more work."
yeah.
Um, but but to not have a lot published before this, um, and have this thing that's just like so out there and weird, super cool, but out there and weird and not, I mean, the closest that comes to it is and this probably helps recently, the Tony Fleeks Trish Forster Stray Dogs, but
Oh, sure, yeah.
as my wife immediately pointed out after reading it and going, why did you think I'd like that? They hurt the dogs. I'm like, well, animals get hurt in Beneath the Trees. Yes, but they were hurt by other animals. They weren't hurt by people.
Right, 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 right. It's true. But I mean, it's still to your point, I feel like Stray Dogs very much prime the pump for folks being open to this book. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a one-to-one by any means.
No, no, no.
But there is definitely something in the sort of, the animal centric horror cute
Yep. It's definitely in the
wheelhouse.
zeitgeist.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we
And
got we got Pornsack Piscichotte and Jesse Lonergan doing Man's Best now.
yep.
Tom King
Uh-huh.
and Peter Gross doing Animal Pound.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Fleek's keeping at it with Trish
With
Forstner and
Farrell.
Farrell. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
No shortage of fantastic animal
yeah,
books.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's I mean it's so I mean I guess to that point obviously there was something like you said there's something in the zeitgeist
Right.
that's amenable to this, right? I like as you mentioned don't have many credits. I did one full issue of the comic Haha, which is an anthology about sad clown stories with
Right.
W. Maxwell Prince. And he had reached out to me prior to do like a cover for his other ongoing series, anthology series, Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man.
and that was really sweet of him. And then that was also just a nice, easy experience. And then he was like, "I'll tell you what, I have this other anthology thing I'm putting together, and if you're interested in doing interiors for it, I would very much like to write a story based around what I feel like is the coolest stuff that you do." And I was like, "That would be incredible." And so
Okay.
that's how that happened. And that went really well.
I
And
still need to read it.
yeah, I think it's issue 4
Yep.
of
I'm
the
looking at it
series.
right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
it was
mean,
just same sort
here's
of.
my thing.
Mhm.
I am only recently aware that I can do horror in comics.
Oh,
Like
right
the
on.
last couple of years, I've because my son is a massive horror guy, so it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I won't watch Saw with you,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you're
That's
also
kind of
my
asking a
son,
lot.
so I'm trying to figure out a way that I can
Yeah.
connect. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
people had been telling me to read oh God, Scott Williamson's book, Nailbiter
Oh,
forever,
sure.
and I'd been like shying away from it because it was horror.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally read it. I'm like, oh, this is actually really good, and I gave it to my son. And but that just means that like I already read too many comics, and now there's this whole other genre of both new stuff and old stuff that I have to
Oh,
get
yeah.
into.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So as much as people have been raving about Ice Cream Man and Haha, I haven't read them yet, just because I
And
didn't
Ha
get
Ha
to
is
them.
not even necessarily horror. It's more, I don't even know.
No, but it's enough what Maxwell Prince is known for
Sure. Yeah.
that
I
it
get
was
that.
just like it didn't make the cut. It made the back of the head. I got to get to
Hmm.
it eventually, but it didn't quite make the cut. And if
Sure.
I
Sure.
noticed that you'd written the issue, I probably would have read it, except that I managed to book so many interviews lately.
Oh,
Um,
sure. Sure.
Sometimes I over prepare for everybody, and sometimes it's like, oh, I accidentally booked like 6 interviews this
Oh,
week. I
wow.
need to like to do enough prep,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
And
not
that's
go insane.
And I mean, I mean, I just to say that I didn't really have much under my belt though.
Right.
And then, but I also have a background in movies. I have written and directed, on 4 features. That, well,
Southbound
yeah,
entrance.
Southbound, which is an anthology, was one of the last ones I worked on. And then, yeah, Entrance, and we did a sequel to The Pact and another movie
The
called
Pack
Diner.
too.
Um, and
But
so
but
it
I assume
was.
not the diner movie that I know. The
Probably not.
yeah, it wasn't Diner part of the Baltimore trilogy,
Oh
Barry
yeah, not. Oh
Levinson.
yeah, yeah.
Not that diner.
Very much spelled differently.
Oh, okay.
The the but the so I definitely had a background in writing, um, and directing. I feel like also honestly plays pretty heavily into making comics as well, to be frank. But
Well, particularly when you're making the art.
well, it when you're getting into performance and you're starting to track trajectory of character arcs across different points when you're catching up with them. And so that, yeah, amongst other things, I mean, I have enough experience in it where it's just the easiest way for me to compartmentalize all the different parts that you got to kind
Right.
of pull together when you're
I
making
mean,
stuff.
I when I'm making the movie analogy, which I don't a ton because
Hmm.
frankly, comics are way cooler. No
Sure,
offense
sure.
to your other career,
No
but
offense taken.
there's so much more that you can do with the comic. I mean, I wish that
Hmm.
people got paid based on how awesome things are, because then people who are good at comics wouldn't need feel the need to go off and do
Oh yeah, yeah,
movies
yeah.
just to get paid better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell you that I did not get paid very well to do the
No,
movies.
I'm aware that there's that. I mean, a regular on the podcast is Chris Cantwell, so
Oh, sure, sure.
I know enough about the
Yeah,
ups and
especially
downs of both.
yeah, so I primarily did indie horror stuff.
Right.
And so when it came time for, I mean, I had probably 4 pitches, I think, that I went to. I've pitched other stuff as well. Um but I just randomly had an opportunity to pitch at IDW when
Okay.
they started their new creator owned
Okay.
slate, and Mark Doyle got brought on board. And I mean, it was totally roundabout, but connected to my movie past because one of the people from the Orchard, Paul Davidson, ended up, which is a distributor for Southbound.
Right.
happened to be at IDW and part of
Well,
their film
there's
TV
definitely,
development.
yeah, there's definitely more crossover between the indie um comics, and they're not quite indie comics, the non-majors in
Sure. Yeah,
comics
yeah.
and the non-majors in film than there used
Sure.
to be.
And
Um,
so Paul ended up showing my work on Instagram to Mark Doyle.
okay.
And then and then Mark was like, "Oh, would he be interested in having a meeting?" And I was like, "Yes, I would be interested in having a meeting." And so around like 2010 or so, I'd started drawing a bunch. And a couple of years into that, I was like, I would love to start doing comics. And so basically, it's just been a long journey of finally getting to this point. But I had these four pitches, and this was one of them. And they
Yeah.
just immediately were like, these pitches are great. This one's excellent. Like, please tell us more about this Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. And
Right.
so that's how it just kind of came to be. And then I gave them my full outline for all six issues. Initially, it was five, and we expanded to six
Okay.
to give it more room to breathe.
Excellent. Breathing
And
room
then,
is good.
oh my
It
God,
might
yeah,
it might even mean it might have even been what created the space for the spread I'm about to talk to you about.
I mean, I will say this: it's this issue three that you kind of have open on the shared screen that we're looking at right now. This was the big issue that it gave me.
Yeah.
Um, I I had this beat with the cat Melody, who's the butcher in town. I had this beat, but it wasn't. I was able to just kind of really run with it with this
Right.
issue.
Because the reason I just flipped until I found one that I thought fit it. Something that when I'm making the film comics analogy, I will point out that a good artist is director, DP, editor, and actors all at
Oh, sure.
once.
Yeah, yeah. And production designer, I would
Right.
throw in there.
Yeah, yeah, totally fair. um, and this two-page spread, it's in issue 3. I'm not going to find page numbers, but it's the one where the cat has just gotten home and is making herself dinner, and just the beats of dropping the keys and starting this. I mean, first of all, this top triptych is something that you can't do as well in a movie. You can
Mhm.
you can do things with it, but the way you have to pan a camera doesn't get that same sense of time passing. You can either show them or you have to cut them, or
No, yeah.
gutters do so much better than cuts.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
Well, the thing that I love about it, I mean, like if I was gonna shoot this right, it would be cuts. It would just be
right,
like quick cuts. But the thing is that because we have this, it's a triptych, like you just said,
right,
and they all exist at the same, relatively, they're all just here. We can all see
right,
them all happening, and that's invaluable. That's the type of yeah, and like you mentioned, like the thing that's incredible about it to me is the ability to just literally by flicking your eyes across, you're revisiting where you just came
right,
from and where you're going.
right.
And that stuff that's what I love about it for sure.
But then just we're I mean, it's boredom, or at least on some level boredom that you're portraying, but the expressiveness that you're working into the character's face, into the body language and the pose.
Yeah,
We've
she's
got
very much
this
she's going through the motions.
Yeah, we've got
Um,
this two-page, 9-panel spread, triptych, wide shot, double, and that, or I guess no, not 9-panel, 11-panel,
mhm.
um, where you just get to see this like wide angle of this person just going through the motions, living an evening. I'm listening to the radio, but I mean, it's even music coming out, but it's clearly like not affecting her at all. She's not swaying to it. She's not dancing to it. She's certainly not singing along with it.
No, 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 no. I mean, if anything, I
And
feel
then
like
the
it might be
ominous sneakers in the final panel. And it's
yeah.
just like, I mean, to do that in a film that well would take at least 10 minutes, and the
Yeah,
perfect music and the perfect.
you got to build in the atmosphere.
Right,
And what I
right,
love is that like you can give it that atmosphere as the reader. just based on looking it over.
Yeah. So yeah, no, there's definitely a huge crossover between, but honestly, I would say that most movie studios should be looking a lot more at comic people for their ability to do movie stuff, because I think it's harder to get those beats in here. And if you
Well,
can
I feel, yeah,
get
I mean, I feel like another thing that I've been more and more drawn to as well are is animated
right,
work and then also silent movies,
okay,
because it's all visual,
yeah,
and it's very much like silent filmmaking's like just some of the most economical visual storytelling.
right,
And it's super sharp and really helps you focus in on what matters. And what I love about watching silence is how advanced when I first started watching, like first time I saw Metropolis, I was blown away at how sophisticated a lot of the visual grammar was for it and how easily they were able to communicate these nuanced dramatic beats between characters, etc. Like, and I was just sort of blown away. And then getting into animation, I just feel like it's all very, very much informed by animating is a very labor intensive endeavor, and so is comic making. But I mean animating is like nuts. So
right,
like the all of it has to matter. You know what I mean? Like there's no like throwaway, oh, we just let it roll for an extra 30 seconds or whatever. Like you were like it's very much an intentional medium. So that's kind of what also I look at in terms of just more and more recently been really keyed in on in terms of how to really tell like with this as intentionally as possible, like these beats.
yeah,
And then with horror, the big thing that it had really informed my sort of, the things that I'm most interested in is building in that atmosphere. And how do you let it breathe in a comic when you only have 22 pages an issue to work with?
right.
And so that scene, I'm really glad that you keyed in on that scene, because I very much wanted it to be that spread. It needed to exist together, right?
Yeah.
On in the open book. Like I design my stuff to be read in the book, just because I love that. I had nothing against reading digitally, on
No,
a
I
tablet as
understand.
well, but
As I explained to many, many people,
yeah, you got like, yeah,
the space is the issue.
yeah, yeah. You're
When
you're
I
you're
love
totally
it, I want the most beautiful
gesturing
version I can
gesturing to
have.
these you have a lot
Yeah,
of shelves behind you that are chock full of books there.
right.
uh
Books, comics, CDs, because
yep.
I used to work at a really good music store.
Oh, and my good man, like I'm very much we were talking before, but my wife and I have a young daughter, and we have a small home. So like space became like the large
Yeah,
issue, and I just had to relocate. I'm in the exact same thing. Now
yeah,
I mean I had to move like a ton of books just into an extra storage place at the
right.
moment. But what's
Well, and
wild is that like I still have like a new pile of books that don't have a bookshelf to put them on. And
well, and my other thing is,
my God.
I'm a teacher. I'm on the move a lot. I actually
Sure.
have a lot of moments that I can sometimes fit even entire comic books into or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to carry around 60
Right.
pounds of stuff with me every
Yeah,
day.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's way
Yeah.
easier to have, you know, 5 gigs of my iPad devoted
Oh
to
yeah,
comics.
100%, 100%. And reading on iPad is still like totally enjoyable.
Right.
But and so as
But
like,
yeah, no, the physical experience,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
totally get
And
you.
well, and it's
Totally
just
get you.
that it's just kind of the way I designed a lot of the drama is designed on those spreads.
Right.
So, I'm all those even pages are definitely like those are important pages, and you only get so many for having revelations, and you got to have so many pages to play out certain scenes. And
Right.
but
But
yeah,
I mean, the number of things that um go into making figuring out page turns, figuring out how to split your story into 22 pages. I mean, I don't blame Brubaker and Phillips for deciding that they're mostly going the graphic novel route for the
sure.
foreseeable
Yeah, yeah,
future,
yeah.
because it's like, I mean, and they were masters of breaking their stories into the 22-page segments, but they're like, That's not the part we care about.
Right.
We can do so much more work so much faster
Yeah.
without worrying about that.
Oh yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I would say this.
And now we sell well enough that we don't have to.
Oh
We
yeah.
don't have
I
to,
mean, they've been
that
heavy
was
hitters for a
that was
while though.
well, yeah, but that was their final decision when they put out, I think it was My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies.
Mm.
And it sold as well as any number one that they'd put out in a decade. They're like, well, so we won't lose any readers.
You're right.
In
Yeah.
fact, we'll gain readers because there were the people who only bought the trades anyway.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
everybody who bought the comics is clearly buying the hardcover if there's not a comic option. And we already knew that there was some. So maybe we lose some in terms of the people who would have bought both, but it's so
Hmm.
much
Hmm.
less work.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say it is really nice having essentially 6 months in my case of a fun like, hey, new issue came out,
Yeah.
let's recheck in
Yeah.
and being able to
No,
build
I'm
up
not trying to.
interest that way for sure too.
They're just, I mean, I love I mean, did you see the announcement? And you should be reaching out to them even because I think you'd be good for it. Did you see the announcement that Oni um got the rights to relaunch EC Comics?
No, I did not
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. They they
Very
they worked
interesting.
worked with Bill Gaines' daughter, the Gaines estate. They're going to be relaunching EC Comics, but with new titles. They're not restarting. Let me see. Let me pull up the New York Times story or Chris Condon's email, one of the two, whichever I find first. Um, but they're not like bringing back Tales from the Crypt or any of the old titles. What they're doing is they are um creating new titles in that vein. The
That's
first one
super
will be
cool.
Epitaphs from the Abyss,
Nice.
and
Good
and
title.
the and the other one will be um Cruel Universe. So Epitaphs from the Abyss will be horror focused, Cruel Universe will be science fiction focused, but they're doing the anthologies again.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
so
I'm a huge, obviously, I have participated in the anthologies
yeah.
and I'm a huge fan of horror comics in general. Uh for sure the EC comics. But the even more like more modernly speaking, like Michael Walsh's Silver Coin,
Yeah.
like I feel like there's just a lot of awesome fun and we already mentioned Ice Cream Man, but I mean like there's
Right.
just a lot of cool
Well, and
um
that
and it
we're
oh
go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was just gonna say it's a very much evergreen thing that we can be still like tapping into even like bringing back EC Comics and I bet
Right.
it won't even miss a step and I feel like also there's just plenty of room for new stuff as well.
Well, and what I love in general, though, I mean, the point that I was actually making is what I love about comics is there isn't one way of delivering them that's inherently better.
Sure.
Whether you're doing 8-page stories, whether you're doing one panel comics, Far Side is
Hmm.
brilliant, and
Hmm.
it doesn't even quite fit the Scott McCloud
Right.
definition of comics, right?
Hmm.
Which is why that's my only problem with the Scott McCloud definition of comics is if you can't find room for Far Side, it's not
Right,
quite
right,
right.
right. Room for improvement.
But I understand why he decided that you had to have the sequential. And it's like, and he even acknowledged this means that, and I view them as cartoon whatever. It's like, yeah, no, I can't go there. It's got to be part of the
Sure.
um. But yeah, everything from the single panel to there, it's always fun to see people master a given medium. You know, I love Lore Olympus. I'm way behind, but I love Lore Olympus, and the biggest reason that I haven't been able to bring myself to pick up the hardcovers, as much as I love that they exist, is that Rachel Smythe mastered the vertical scroll.
Sure.
I can't imagine what it would be like, flipping pages instead of
Yeah. And I feel like the fact that it's malleable enough to take form in these different
is
modes is
impressive as
awesome.
well.
Yeah, is
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, so when I talk about, oh, I love the graphic novel, it's not that I don't also love
Oh, sure, sure,
the
sure.
comic. It's just that there's differences between splitting it up into. It's why I go out of my way to delineate when we're talking about them on our normal episode between original graphic novels and collections.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have a problem with calling the collection a graphic novel because it's still a graphic novel.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Is I mean, I understand that people have trouble with that. We don't have a good enough word for it yet.
Oh,
I
sure.
mean, I love comics in general as well, used for everything, but I think that there is reason to have a good word for. I'm sorry, I was hearing Howard Chaykin in my head for a second. He doesn't like the graphic novel. um, I had a fantastic conversation with him, but I sometimes hear him as the grouchy old man in my head now.
Yeah, I feel like it's the grouchy old man in everyone's head at some
Right.
point.
Um, yeah, uh, but there's a difference between the one that was originally serialized and the one
Hmm.
that, and that's always been true. I mean, I love Dickens, but you can tell that he was serialized.
Oh, sure, sure. Or like Anthony Trollope.
Right.
It's very much like it very much reads that way for sure.
Right. There's a different style to them because they
Hmm.
were serialized.
Hmm. They're
Um,
also like very compelling because you're always
oh,
like you
absolutely.
get to the end of the
Absolutely.
chunk and you're like, oh, what
Right.
happens next?
Right. Right. Tune in next
Yeah,
week.
exactly.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, I feel like another thing that it did for me was create these limitations though, and I'm really good with limitations.
I think
I
I think
love
there's a
I
handful of
like
artists that
them.
do their best work without limitations. I think most artists,
I need them. Yeah,
yeah, I think
I'm
most
definitely in the
artists.
latter. I need them.
Well, and
It
I
helps me a
think
lot.
even half the artists that we think work without limitations just created their own limitations.
Sure. Sure, sure, sure. I mean, that's what we
I mean,
like
so many. I mean, I like poetry. And so many poets
Mhm.
that get treated like they're blank verse or whatnot. It's like if you look at it, it's like, no, I think they figured out the meter before they started writing.
Sure, sure,
It's
sure,
one
sure.
that they put together just for this.
Sure. Sure.
But
I
there's a rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel in my work, I feel like it just helps to inform a lot of the decision making and
Yeah,
creativity. And so if you don't have to be creative about how something's going to fit together, then you kind of lose a lot of creativity.
right. Well, it's the Wonder Boys thing. You've got the 3,000 page book because you didn't
Sure.
make any
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah. It's 100% right.
The book inside the book, for those who don't know Wonder Boys, the book or the movie, not the actual Wonder Boys, which is
Right, right,
a
right.
marvelous book and a marvelous movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean when I'm trying to get juices flowing, I'll like write a sonnet, and as much because it
Hmm.
forces me to choose words based on what fits.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or even haiku is like a very
I write
economical. Yeah,
tons of
yeah.
haikus.
Yeah,
It's like,
haikus
oh,
are wonderful.
I want it to have this feel, but I have to do it this way.
Hmm.
And now suddenly you have to decide, okay, why am I using this word instead of that word?
Hmm. Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, it's yeah.
Um,
And so it has been a wonderful little challenge getting, like I mentioned, all these things to sort of pace out across 22 pages without it feeling crammed in there.
so, um, the question I really like to write or to ask all cartoonists, how do you work, particularly as somebody who's done screenwriting in the past?
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know, maybe with your films, you storyboard first and then write the screenplay. So who knows? It might not actually be, especially as somebody who's done screenwriting in the past. But how do you go about it? Do you script the whole thing and then start drawing? Did you do beats and start drawing and then start script? I mean, talk
I
about the
ended up
process.
the it's sort of similar to how I would approach filmmaking now or just writing, in the sense that I have to lay it all out
Okay.
with the outline first. And then I basically use that as the roadmap to get me through the whole thing. So there's no
Okay.
surprises for me necessarily in terms of where things are headed, but there may be surprises with stuff that pops up amongst characters, or like again, this issue 3 was definitely like the biggest surprise of the whole series for me, in terms of like kind of really leaning into it, realizing that it would be like a really great opportunity to unpack some of the larger themes that I was doing with the whole series. So the whole series is very much about interior lives,
Right.
hidden lives, and then also um, how that folds into us dealing with, the stuff life throws at us. In the case with this issue 3, it's very much centered around grief. And it was really interesting to take a sort of, uh, amoral character and have them also bounce against this concept of grief and like how they are possibly causing it for a lot of people, and to understand that intellectually, but not really being able to see, understand what that means emotionally. And so that was just a fun thing that I didn't have planned out necessarily, right? I knew kind of where I was going to go with it, but I kind of had to discover that in the process.
Right.
But the rest of it, so basically, yeah, have the whole outline, and then I'll kind of get in issue by issue and really just kind of dive into what I think is going to happen. And then once I have that, I'll start splitting it across the 22 pages. Um, and then once I've got that, I'm also doing the real rough layouts.
Okay.
And so as I'm literally scripting page 1, page 2, I'm doing these very rudimentary shapes for my page layouts, my spreads.
Right.
And then at that point, I've got the script and I've got these rough layouts, and then I just get into pencils, inks, paint, and then I just basically, eating the elephant bit by bit,
Right.
until you get to the end.
Very cool. I always like to hear how um people tackle how they're going to jump into it.
Yeah.
Now, do you also, I mean, you said eat the elephant bit by bit. Do you like finish a page before moving on, or do you
Yep.
do
I do it
pencils and then
all.
inks and then color? Or
I'll do it one page at a time, and I'll
okay,
pencil, ink, and paint, and then move on to page 2, pencil, ink, paint, and so on
okay,
and so on.
yeah,
It For whatever reason, I have a horrible uh ability to focus on like things in multiple stages of being finished. You know
right,
what I mean? And it just becomes too overwhelming for me. And so I like to
okay,
be able to just be like, you know what? I don't even have to pretend to consider any of the pages that happened before because they're done. And I'm just focusing on this page in front of me right now. And then once that's done, I'll put that behind me. And then it gets scanned, cleaned up, and put into the share file for IDW.
right,
And then I have to look at it for reference for
right,
continuity and stuff. But
right,
beyond that, it's just kind of like I just consider it done. It's stamped done in my head, and then
right,
I move on.
right. So it's
I
so
just
fascinating to me how different people can be because,
Mhm, mhm.
and he's the example I use the best because or the most often because the first time he told us about it, he was actually in his office, so he kind of walked around with the camera. Like
Oh yeah.
Nate Powell always worked or tries to be working on two books at once, one nonfiction adaptation and one fiction that's his own. That was
Oh
something that
wow.
started out a necessity during the March years, but then he liked it enough that he does it.
Sure.
Um, he'll be penciling here, writing there, inking here,
Oh my
coloring here,
God.
because he's found that he can't like he says for the most part he'll like sit down and write a script in big chunks, but most
Sure.
things he can do for like half an hour before he's bored. And as soon as he starts getting bored, if he pushes himself more at it, it's no good. So
Sure. Okay.
so he either needs to take a break or do something else. So if
Oh,
he's
right
got
on.
something that's ready to be inked, he doesn't have to have anything other than the transition time from penciling to inking.
Yeah.
It's how he maximizes his day.
That's awesome. I mean, I feel like I'm
But there
also,
are also
well,
people like you that it's like I need to think about one thing and
oh yeah, yeah,
only
yeah.
one thing.
The thing is that like this whole year we've had a daughter. And
Right.
so like I also, and plus I also have a part-time job. So
Right.
like I'm not just making the comic.
That,
You know what I
that
mean?
that'll do it
Like
too.
I
That'll
have
do it
like
too.
I guess I am doing, but so when I do have the time to work on the comic, I can't just like be like, oh yeah, oh man, I haven't painted like these other pages and I still gotta
Right.
finish this one. And then it's like that's when it gets overwhelming for me. And so when it was like I just finished this, I mean, I just recently finished the script for six like a couple weeks ago and have moved on to writing it, but I was also putting together pitches and, and like I said, working on my other part-time job, working marketing for a credit union, which is totally random. Uh,
It's writing.
it
I mean,
is honestly
I
a lot of it comes down to just like Photoshop and After Effects
yeah,
skills, a little bit
yeah,
of 3D
yeah.
modeling,
But still,
random
I mean,
random stuff.
I talked to Dave Baker last week, and if you haven't, Mary Tyler Moore, one of the
Oh yeah.
oh my god, oh my
Um,
god,
uh, I haven't read it yet, but I haven't read anything for like a year basically. But
yeah,
Dave Baker's a total sweetheart and has been like, I mean, he's been cranking out comics forever,
yeah,
basically. But it was totally random. But I ended up going to a comic shop here in LA that his partner, Nicole Gu worked at called
right,
uh, shop called Quest. And
okay,
then they used to have a spot downtown LA. And then when I was getting back into reading comics, I would just go there. And then I met her, and then I met Dave, and then they would do like a Sunday meetup at like a
okay,
coffee shop. People, just other creators would show up, and if you're working on something, you just pull up a chair at this
yeah.
coffee shop, join them, and
I
you could
think he
talk
mentioned
shop.
that when we talked. Yeah.
Yeah, you could talk shop, and I got to join in on that for a little bit.
But yeah, he
And
talked
it was,
about how he's done like every writing job you can imagine.
yeah, yeah.
Wrote plumbing manuals. You know,
He's just got like
if
the
you'll pay
most,
me to write, I'll do it.
yeah, he's just got the most writing endurance I've ever seen, or just creating endurance I've ever seen out of any
Right.
cartoonist. Like
Yeah.
he's great.
Yeah. I
And
was
Mary
happy to make
Tyler
his acquaintance.
Moorhawk,
And he's going to be at C2E2 too. So maybe we'll
yeah,
all have to get together and
yeah,
eat
yeah,
dinner
yeah.
or something.
That'd be very cool. Yeah, he's like, I mean, yeah, this book's been a long time coming, and I'm so excited to see how much love it's been getting for sure.
All right. No, yeah, it was great, as is your book is amazing. I mean, I was sold on, I mean, Tyler and I started talking about it on the air when it was just like the preview.
Oh, right on.
No, it's like, okay, this looks way too cool not to look at. but but then it came out, and I don't even remember what else came out the first. I mean, there are certain books for both Tyler and I that is like they come out. We'll pick our three amazing books any given week, then, and we'll highlight them on this show, right?
Mhm.
And there are certain creators and certainly certain books that when they come out, it's like a given. I'm gonna have most Tom King at the top of my list. I'm gonna
Sure.
have Chris Cantwell high on my list.
Mhm.
If Saga comes out and it's not number one, it means whatever else beat it out was ridiculous.
Mhm.
And right now, I'm not remembering what it was, but you topped both of our lists in a week where there were like obvious list
Yeah, there were
toppers.
definitely there were a lot, it was a crowded week, that was for
Right.
sure.
It was a week where it's like, I can't believe I'm saying that my top book this week is from this guy that I've never heard of.
Oh, I really
When
appreciate that.
when this and that came out,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you must go read this book.
oh, I mean it's very cool of you to say that, and it's so appreciated because it has been such a strange. I mean, this is basically just a hard career turn that I've taken.
Right.
As like I said, I've basically been working in movies for like 17 years,
Right.
and this is my first chance with my own book.
But you
And
can go back and forth.
yeah,
Cantwell
yeah, definitely, most
just
definitely.
announced
Well,
Devil in Silver. He's going to
I
be
mean,
doing more TV.
I would say this though that it's like so. I mean, it's this. I mean, I've been working on this for like a year.
Right.
So it's and I've turned down like a lot of different things that I've had, you know what I mean? Like that I could have worked on. And then you kind of stop being top of mind for people.
That's true.
And then you're
That's
just
true.
kind of like, well, I guess I'm doing this comic thing right now. So
That's
but I
fair.
mean,
I mean, I'm not trying to convince you not to do comics. I
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
much love your comics. And well, I just looked at your movies. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be watching any of
Oh, yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
They
Especially what
look
we talked
like the
about
type
before in
that
terms of different stuff you
I can't
shouldn't.
watch. I
Yeah,
can't
you
watch.
should not. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
especially. Please
you
stick to
know,
the comics.
our listeners have heard this many times, but I'll share it with you anyway. What I realized in terms of why I can't do horror in movies and I can't do horror in, I mean, Stephen King is a fantastic writer. I can
Sure.
only read very limited numbers of his books because I can't read his horror.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
is that in comics, I get to decide.
Oh, sure.
In movies, you decide how long I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
In books, you decide how long I'm uncomfortable. In
Yeah.
comics, I go, got the information, flip.
Yeah.
All right, disemboweled, flip. I didn't spend a lot of time, even though it was like Berenstein Berries-y. I didn't spend a lot of
Yeah.
time with the duck all cut up. I went, gotcha.
Understood.
All
Yeah.
necessary information has gone into my head. For that matter, I laughed a few minutes ago when I was flipping through pages while we were talking, and
Uh-huh.
I made the joke about the handsaw
Oh yeah.
because I saw her building the table or whatever. And then when I flipped through the pages, I went, "Oh, yeah, she did use it for something else. I
Oh
thought I
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
joking
No, no,
about
no.
her using it for something else."
It's very much I very explicitly mirrored those moments.
And I totally believe that, but I had not noticed it on the first pass
Yeah.
because it was okay, got it. I mean, I mean, and I have a weird stomach for this sort of things because, like, goriness and Last of the Mohicans or Saving
Mm-hmm.
Private Ryan, goriness in a war movie or a historical piece or whatnot,
Oh, okay.
no problem whatsoever. Right.
I think for myself, a lot of that stuff is it's more upsetting when it's more realistic and grounded like that for me.
Yeah, see,
Um,
I'm the reverse. If it's
yeah,
realistic
exactly.
and grounded, it's like, well, do I love looking at this? No, but it's what it's supposed to be.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. Whereas I love Indiana Jones. Love Indiana Jones. And actually, I don't know if the new one does, but the first four Indiana Jones movies all have one scene that I will close my eyes
You
for.
can't watch. Yeah, yeah.
Just one apiece. I don't watch the faces melting. I don't watch the heart pulled out. I
Uh,
don't watch the face melting again, but for different
oh,
reasons.
when it gets old,
Right,
the
right,
Grail drink one.
right.
Okay.
And I don't watch the fire ants.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think actually I can't think of a scene that I turn away from in the new one. So they might have succeeded and watch it
I mean,
maybe.
this could just be a Spielberg thing where he just has these gross out
Got
moments.
to have one gross out moment,
And I mean,
and
it's
and
not, I mean,
and
at the same
Mangold
time,
decided that it was possible to make an Indiana Jones movie without a gross out moment.
well, let me pose it this way. If it doesn't have a gross out moment, is it really an Indiana Jones movie?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, okay. Fair enough.
um, yeah. Well, because I mean, here's my thing, and it's always been I mean, I guess the way I always used to phrase it to my son, and I am still kind of reworking it because discovering that I can do it in comics makes it different. Um, but it's essentially, it's one thing when I'm seeing gore as part of something where it belongs or whatnot, and it's
Mm-hmm.
another thing when I'm seeing gore purely as entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived, I mean, overall, I've lived a really privileged life, but I've had enough low points, I've had enough real life trauma, etc., that it's like trauma for the solely for entertainment
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
really gets to me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But again, that can't be entirely true because I love Nailbiter. I love this. I love so many
Oh,
comics
sure.
that do that. So
Well,
I
I
think
mean, I
yeah.
would say my own personal take because again I've worked in horror right for a long time, and I'm a big fan of horror, but I'm not a big fan of all horror. Like if it's
Right.
not, it definitely there's got to be something to it more than just the gore for sake of gore,
Right.
and for me, and I mean it, and that and it, you know it's all in the eye of the beholder. But
Right.
if the thing doesn't resonate on a extra level than that sort of transcends just the gore for gore's sake, then I'm honestly just not going to be interested in it.
Right.
It to me, it's interesting, in terms of what the like if it's I mean it just depends what the context is, but like if it's in the terms of the comic, the reason that I have it in there is more it
Oh,
like a
it works
lot of
brilliantly in the comic.
well,
I
but a
spent
lot
I spent enough time with it that I like laughed at it because of
sure, sure.
the I just didn't spend enough time with it that I remembered the saw until I was flipping
Oh no,
through
no, no. But I was gonna
it.
say that it's very like it's and for as cute and adorable as this stuff is, it's I wanted it to be sort of upsetting
Oh, and I'm
in
just
regards
noticing
to
the
how
detail in
like
the brain.
anatomic,
That's
yeah,
actually
exactly.
really brilliant.
It's
The
very
detail of the
anatomically
brain there
correct
is
on
really
like a
good.
human level. It's anatomically
Right.
correct. And I wanted that to be the case because
Oh,
I
did you
didn't want
have
it
to
to
make it
be.
feel so much like Howard?
Yeah, I know. I couldn't escape that, but I love the idea of having like the white feathers and the red blood, so I kind of just I went with it. And it felt like a very wholesome. I wanted it to be very wholesome, even though it's supposed to be from the city.
Yeah.
A very
Yeah,
wholesome
no,
looking duck,
it
a
is.
young,
It really
you know,
is.
go-getter college student, maybe,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
on his way, maybe
The
in between
backpack and a
his
sweater and a
classes
Walkman.
and work or something,
Yeah.
and then ended up just being, and also the Good Samaritan who just like tried to help out the wrong person,
Right.
which
Right.
very much would be, I've said before, it would, that I wrote that in because I would be that victim. Where I was like, oh, I can help you out. Like this looks like an easy fix. Like let me help you out.
And it
And
also it makes her so much crueler
oh, 100%. Yeah,
because
I did
she's not
not
like going to the city and finding the homeless dude to make
know. Well, I
vanish.
mean, it's not even like finding like the criminals or something to
Right.
make an
Yeah. She's
example of.
definitely not going and finding like somebody who deserves to die and making
Exactly.
them vanish. But she's not even finding that person that is less likely to have family that misses them, less
Oh, yeah, yeah,
likely to
yeah.
like care if they die. I mean, because
Needed to be like so, had to
no,
be
it's
so
somebody
random.
who's like
Just totally random. Just
got a reason to
disappears.
live, probably has lots of people, and is being helpful to her.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very specifically. It was very much the Ted Bundy approach of like having the fake broken arm and needing help with something. Um, yeah, I very much wanted to set her apart from any Dexter because Dexter does famously only attack, he murders bad people. And that distinction was enough of a thing that I wanted to really steer away from it. But then also, as I mentioned, like to be able to have any chance of being traced or whatever, it just seemed like the easiest move to avoid that would just to be as random as possible.
Okay, so as I'm flipping through this again, right here, where she's burying all the small pieces,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just noticing another decision that I loved in the moment, like love, but I'm curious about
Mm-hmm.
because it's not common. She is a bear, but like a human bear. And as she's wrapping up her burying, a bear
Yeah, an animal bear.
appears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How did you make the decision that there would be both human bears and bears
Yeah, it's
and
the
non-human foxes as well
yep.
in your story?
It was the goofy Pluto paradox.
Right.
The Richard Scarry stuff that I was looking at as inspiration most definitely they have pets. He has pets in his busy town
Okay.
world. And he also has a butcher featured on one of the covers pretty prominently, which is honestly a big inspiration for a lot of that and issue 3
Yeah.
having her be
Yeah.
the butcher. And I was just like, that's so messed up that he has that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're not going to dive into what Richard Scarry was thinking, but like this is awesome. Like I have to do something with this. And so I wanted to take that and to segue into our conversation or like dovetail, I should say, with our conversation we just had. Like the idea of having her be as random as possible kind of mirrored like the cold-bloodedness of that nature sort of is,
Right.
and how like, the need to sort of, satisfy these urges that these wild animals do. And it just happens upon whatever prey they find that's the best candidate. And so that was kind of part of it. I like the idea of having somebody like Samantha doing such a bizarrely unnatural thing also cross paths with this bear in a in its very natural state. And Samantha sort of brought her doings into the middle of this, in this forest. And I love the idea of having that and her sort of seeing it and maybe contemplating it, maybe not. But it was it very much having the reader contemplate it. And I will say too that this comes up again
Okay.
in subsequent issues later on.
So
Um,
as I actually examine these pages a little bit more, I'm really blown away by the beats here. You've got her like literally pounding nails into the duck, followed by cutting and bleeding out the duck. Turn the page, quartered the duck. Why are all these paint cans around? Oh, she's putting each part into a paint can and burying them separately. Though I gotta say, I mean, I don't know exactly where she is, but I would be a little bit like if I was walking in the woods and just saw like 20 recently buried holes, that might stand
mhm.
out to me a little bit.
Sure.
I
Mhm.
guess maybe the grass is more likely to encroach faster because they're all small. So I guess it depends on how far off the beaten track they are.
Yeah.
And
In
then
my mind, this was like pretty deep into the
yeah,
forest
that's just kind of what I'm figuring.
to where you would also see a bear or whatever.
Right, right. And then turn the page. She's cleaning up. Oh, and she talks to the bear. I'd
Yeah.
appreciate it if we could keep this between the two of us. Then she starts the car, and there's a fox behind her, and the fox is actually cleaning up evidence, licking the
Right. Yeah.
blood off of the. And then your page flip, she's taking a bath with cookies and hot chocolate.
Yeah. She's having a nice little evening, unwinding.
Incense.
Little bath bomb.
What's she reading? Did you title the book?
I did. I can't remember what it is. It's a murder mystery.
Of
It's
course.
essentially like an Agatha Christie knockoff.
Of course. Because what else would it be?
Yeah. She wants to see if she can guess it.
The the needle in the haystack.
Oh, that is what it was. The needle in the haystack, which she's about to try and find.
Right. And then the page after that, they're pouring wine and she's out to a nice dinner with the
Yeah.
mice.
Yep. Hanging out with her friend
I mean,
Lola and Lola's
this
son
just
Nigel.
it's like it's hilarious when you're reading it quickly. It's both hilarious and really fucking disturbing when you go through it a little bit slower. I don't even know if I want to ask you how your mind came up with let's put those beats together. Do I need to call children's services?
What I would say, I mean, it's funny
Is
because like
your
a lot
wife
of the,
protecting your child?
oh yeah, we're good. She keeps her wife me. It's fine. The no, it's
The
I mean
the
it's
sharp objects are locked up at all
right.
times.
Yeah. It's funny because it's always been amusing to me. The nicest people I've ever met happen to be the folks that work in horror.
Right.
And I feel like part of it is so much involved with like you're just I don't know. I mean, like you're exploring like all sorts of bizarre stuff
Well, it's what
literally just in your art.
I mean, even as a fan, it's what my son would always make it's such a release though. And I'm like, yeah, I have releases. It's not a
It's
release for me. So I mean, I do get it
but
because
I would also say just as a mode too of like of the genre, it's weirdly universal to go across cultures and also just get into, you know, this sort of weird stuff.
right.
More so than comedy. Comedies doesn't necessarily feel as universal.
Yeah.
It's just been kind of a bizarre, funny thing. But like, but the in my mind, the the reason I put all those together was specifically like, she's essentially has this urge and this compulsion, does it, and now she's just like that monkey's off her back.
Yeah.
You know, she smoked that cigarette, so to speak.
Yeah.
She's like unwinding and then getting into this social
Actually,
life
that's the
with her
only thing that
only
would make it better is if she was smoking a cigarette with
right.
her
Yeah.
in the bathtub with the book
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
hot
yeah.
chocolate and the cookies and the incense and a
Yeah, yeah,
cigarette.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I have a yeah, either yep.
Or
The
maybe the cigarette in the car. I don't care, somewhere
yeah,
just
right, yeah. Another good job done. Another day's work done. The and then yeah, getting in with hanging out with her friend,
yeah.
which is pretty much just like a keeping up
Who's
appearances
who's
relationship.
who's dying of
Oh yeah, she has
she's got dementia.
a neurological well she has
Right.
yeah, she's got some neurological deteriorating sort of motor
Right.
disease that's
Yeah.
slowly withering her body away.
Yeah.
Um it's yeah, yeah. It's a real uplifter.
I mean, and this is one of those things where I mean, one of Tyler's other favorite books this year. Did you see Dwellings, Jay Stevens?
No.
Okay. Imagine like the Peanuts gang in a serial killer.
Oh no.
I mean, it's very like comic strip cartoony,
Oh, that sounds
but
awesome.
horror.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It is. It's really good. But there is just such a dichotomy. Um,
There's something about it very that almost feels blasphemous when I was sort of, especially in the pitching stage, that it felt
right,
like it was like, well, this seems wrong, but in all the right ways.
right.
So I feel like I just have to keep rolling with it. And it is that strange that I feel like a lot of the horrible stuff that happens really comes out in stark relief against the wholesomeness of it all.
Oh, I
Um,
totally forgot the turtle sucking into his shell. I love
oh
that.
yeah, Birdie. Poor Birdie. But
Oh,
yeah, I yeah, it has proven to be a very fertile ground for bringing up and highlighting like all sorts of stuff that
just a
has
little
interested
bit.
me.
Oh God, I just looked more carefully. Is this one of the variant covers? The or is that the? Oh yeah, no, it's just it's back. I just took a better look at the cover of issue 2 with the hopping block butchery with the
Oh
pig's
yeah.
heads in.
Oh, the chopping block. Yeah, that's where
Yeah,
Melody
chop.
works. That cover came from Maggie Howell, the editor.
That's
So
so
I had
wrong.
like three, I think I had a couple pitches and then, because it was just like sketches for the covers, as you go through them.
Right.
And then she was like, these are great. I kind of have this idea of like having Cherry just standing in front of the butcher shop. Would that be horrible? And I was like, yes, that would be excellent. And so I put it together and I did the sketch for that and she liked it a lot. And so did I. So
All
I
right.
think it was a total stroke of genius from Maggie.
Yeah, no. She's
There's something so I feel
I
like it's such a, especially in regards to that Richard Scarry cover that I've
yeah.
mentioned, like it's such a perfect thing to have just play against that.
I love good editors, so she's gonna have to go in the back of my head as somebody else
Oh, she's one of the
to
best.
talk to.
She's one of the
Um,
best. It's been an absolute pleasure working with her in IDW and also Jake Williams, who was assistant
yeah.
editor.
Well,
Like
I
it's
mean,
been
we've
so
got an
great.
IDW editor coming up this week because
Oh,
Heather
excellent.
Andrews is gonna join us.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, cool.
Um, and Shelley Bond's been on a few times, so
Very cool.
you're never ever gonna have me not appreciate the power of a comics editor.
Oh my
Um,
God. It's my first, I mean, I obviously it's my first anything really, but it
right,
has also been my first uh time working with an editor for anything I've written.
right,
And it's been incredible. It's been wonderful.
right. My last question about the book, and then we'll start getting into more comic centric, and then I promise I'll let you go before it gets too late. I'm having so much fun though, Patrick.
Yeah, yeah, likewise.
Um, how'd you make the decision to have the inner cover newspapers?
Oh man, that was 100% all Nate, the designer,
Nate.
who
Okay.
who also designed the title treatment as well,
Okay.
based off of like some ideas that I'd had. 100%. It was like the biggest surprise when I checked out the proof for issue one
Okay.
was that they decided to run with the Woodbrook Wanderer, totally made up by him, as far as I know, the name of
So
the
so you didn't even
newspaper.
do any of the writing for it.
No,
They
I didn't do
okay.
any of that stuff. It's like an
Okay.
awesome treat every time I look at a new proof for the
Awesome.
next issue.
That's really
And then
cool.
and then what I love about it too is that like I at one point gave a list of all the businesses that I've come up with so far that you see in the comic.
And he puts
And
the ads
then
in.
yeah, exactly. He'll make ads based on the logos that I've drawn up
I
on their
love it.
boards and stuff and whatever.
I
Like
love it.
it's yeah, it's been such an awesome, excellent
Well,
little
and I
thing
also
to discover each
I'm
time.
looking at which issue. Yeah, we're at issue two here. This is one of those little things that the us geeky people who read and reread our comics notice. Not only does he have the workwear, just a little bit of blood down in the corner.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's stuff with like I mean I can't wait for you to check out issue four because issue four is gonna get kind of nuts. But
Well, I mean, I will be buying it, but I have no problem getting advanced copies of things sent my direction.
Oh, sure.
Does not bother me at all.
The
Hint, hint. Wink, wink. Nod, nod.
the issue oh sorry, uh the little extra touches like that with the blood and everything, and some stuff ends up getting kind of also written on it and stuff. It evolves. I just love the amount of thought and care that come into it with like everybody that's collaborating on this thing. I mean, we haven't even talked about Hassan Oatsman
I
Elhau
was
and
about to
his
bring him
lettering
up
because
because
like
Hassan Hassan
Hassan's like his work
Hassan
is
has been a guest. I know
oh yeah,
Hassan.
he's
Hassan
he's
is
incredible.
yeah.
And I
Um
should also, I mean, I mention this every time I talk about him, but it was like a total, I did not think he would say yes to the project because I'm a nobody. Like I'm not really anybody.
yeah,
Um,
but
and then
he
he basically
likes cool stuff.
they put in they gave him pages and the script
Yeah.
and said what it was going to be. And he was like, "Oh, okay, this looks really fun. Yes, I'll do it." And that blew me away. And
Right.
then it continued to blow me away with each issue that he turns in the lettering for because
Yeah,
he
that
does these like incredible little touches
well
that
well
completely enhance it.
and this is where I'm going to ask both knowing artists and knowing Hassan. So like we'll just pull up this we'll pull up the page again. Um did you write the sound effects?
I wrote the sound effects. I wrote the what his choice on this one that blew me away was the oh my god balloon
Okay.
on page right that he
Yeah.
it was just like I think it was just oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That was it.
Right.
It was just three oh
Right.
my gods, right? And
Right.
he
He
ended
filled it.
up yeah, he filled it completely where
And
it's just
very
like
carefully crafted the balloon to make
yeah,
it that much more.
and looks like it goes around like it looks like it's just barely containing this flood of oh my gods.
And for that
Um
matter, this
that one
oh
was
oh
I wrote that out, I think, as a I wanted to track her progression up the fire
okay.
escape. Is how I gave him the note.
Okay.
Because I thought that it would be a fun way of plotting her climbing up. Um, but if you go to like, especially like the next page when she lands, I think, uh,
I
and
was gonna ask about
yeah,
is
I did the crash,
so you did the
and
art on that.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he did that word balloon did not exist really of her landing hard
This
on the
one.
ground.
Okay.
And he does these great like there's a couple of them in here where Cherry's grumbling and it's like he just and I didn't even have it in the script and he just kind of throws in these like little moments of like
Yeah.
her being, just these like it's basically acting, you know what I mean? Like it's part of her performance. And it really enriches uh, you know, her character. Like it's so well done.
I mean, when Hassan popped up on my radar first, um, he used to do, and I hope he starts doing them on Blue Sky because I don't like touching that other place anymore. Um, but he used to do these pictureless, just word balloon stories on Twitter all the time.
Oh, cool.
That I loved to begin with, but as it turns out, he was also becoming a major baseball fan. So he
Oh,
started doing
funny. I didn't know
wordless.
that.
Yeah. Apparently we almost had him involved in our baseball and comics roundtable this year, but he
Oh my
couldn't
God.
work out the timing. But he did make certain that I did a woo woo for the Rangers, which are his adopted team,
It's so funny.
because he's in, I don't know if he's in London or somewhere else in England, but
Yeah, he's definitely in the UK. Yeah.
right, he's in the UK. Um, but he has MLB Network, and he like regularly listens to games in the background while
Oh,
he's
far
working.
out. I had no
Right,
idea.
right. So that was like the first thing is like, oh, I gotta write this guy. He's doing baseball word balloons randomly on Twitter.
That's so cool.
Um,
Yeah, he came
but
up
then
on my
I discovered
radar.
Panel X
Yeah,
Panel, and then I discovered um Strip Panel Naked. Oh
that
my
was the first
God.
thing I'd seen of
Oh,
his was his strip panel naked episode about Somni's Black Widow run.
okay. That's a
And
great one. The first one I saw was his one about Will McPhail's Inn,
oh, right on.
which made me immediately have to go buy that. And it's
Yes.
amazing. It's one of
I
my
mean,
favorite graphic novels of the past couple of years.
his ability to passionately examine a work of art and make you be
Yeah,
like, I need to see if I love this.
right,
Like, and you're like,
right. And
I
for
like,
that matter, be mostly convinced that you will love it.
right. And it's so
It's like how much will I love it? Not
right.
not
Yeah,
I
if I will or not. Yeah. It's like, I wonder if this is gonna be as
the
life-changing for
if is
me.
taken care of.
Yeah. And I feel, and regardless of, I mean, obviously comics, but like even outside of that, anytime anybody can share something with you that is just impassioned and
Right.
make you be and is contagious, like that's so cool.
It
And
is.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
that's
it was such a, to me, that's why he was at the top of the list. And I am just like,
I
I'm
have
counting my
found
blessings, man.
that like every letterer I've talked to is passionate about comics.
Yeah.
We've talked to Clayton Coles, we've talked to Hassan, we've talked to Clem Robbins,
Hmm.
um, other people, or talked to Darren Bennett, who does and world design, has a whole team, all just ridiculously passionate about comics.
Hmm.
Some of them are people who did art and realized that they did letters better than their their the artists around them, the students around them generally, and it's like, oh, I can really carve out a space for them. Some of the like Hassan just fell in love with the lettering. He's
Sure, sure,
just
sure.
he's just like he loves creating balloons. He loves creating fonts. I can't remember if he's one of the ones that hates. He might be one that created a font once and decided, I don't know if I love creating fonts. Clem Robbins went on, he created his own font, and he's like, but because he figured out while he was doing 100 bullets, he like had me pull out my copy of 100 bullets and look for the page before admitting that he couldn't even remember which page it was. He's like, there's
Mhm.
one page in this volume that was the first time I did digital lettering. See
Oh
if you can
wow.
find it. And I couldn't.
Oh wow.
He's like, see, I did a great job. I don't remember which one it is anymore either.
That's hilarious.
Because one of his big things, he realized that digital lettering was the future, that he was going to
Sure.
have to do it. But the thing that he loves about hand lettering is that it's not consistent.
Yeah.
That so he created like a 256 character font.
Oh my God.
So there are like four different A's and
Sure.
seven different
Yeah.
E's.
I mean, I've gone as far as like only just doing like doubles, and that's as far as I've done
Right.
of creating, my own font to have for like
Uh,
just doing my own stuff. And it wasn't even, I mean, it very much became obvious to me that like there's a reason why people dedicate themselves to
yeah.
lettering because it's obvious, like when you find a good letterer
Yeah.
that and where that magic's coming from.
Yeah.
That it's, I mean, and that said too, I mean, there are cartoonists that are awesome at lettering.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
and so I'm not one of them.
Right.
And I'm so grateful that there are just excellent
Yeah.
letterers out there.
Well, and I what I'm most jealous of letterers for though is they're the first one that gets to see the completed page.
Oh yeah.
They
I
will
mean,
sometimes tell me not quite because depending on deadlines and whatnot, they might be working at it on it simultaneously with the
oh, sure, sure.
colorist. But still, they're more likely to see the completed page first.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because if they're
yeah.
working on it simultaneously with the colorist, it's not like the colorist has the pages with the letters.
Yeah. I've
They're
got
still
the
coloring, and then the letters are being dropped on top of them.
yep. I mean, I feel well, yeah, definitely with my pages, those are done. Like
Yeah,
after someone's done with them, they're done. But the to me, it's like I send off these things that I just like, cranked out, and then what I get back is the finished comic, and it's so
right.
cool
Yeah,
to see it because it feels real at that point. You know what I mean?
right.
And it really is. Like the first issue I got back with letters on it, I was like, oh, I got all emotional just being like, I got a comic. I have a comic.
Are
Like, this is
you?
awesome.
This is where are you working on when you do your first of all, do you work digitally or um paper and pen?
Oh, paper and pen.
Oh
It's all
wow.
traditional. Yeah.
You do
All
it
of
all
this is
traditional here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I just work a lot faster traditionally.
Okay. Um Second question. Are you working single pages or double page spreads together? I know you think about
Oh,
double page
mostly
spreads.
it's all just single pages.
Okay. The reason I bring this up is I just noticed how well this tree presents that gutter
Oh yeah. Yep. The
and
yeah,
the
that was
leaves
definitely
going.
oh yeah, yeah. That was just like it just happened to work out. I mean, it was designed to be like that.
Right.
Um but I definitely didn't put it as like two taped together pages just because it could be split up and I just like the desk space. It's just a lot cumbersome
Right.
because it is
Well,
all physical.
I have known a handful of people that they turn their Bristol boards sideways, so they're actually working smaller,
Oh, right on. Yeah, yeah.
so that they're working
I
spreads rather than they still don't tape them
yeah, yeah,
together.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I'm going to work smaller so that I can work,
Yeah.
and it's actually
Hmm.
really common among people working digitally for
Hmm,
them to
hmm.
work spreads
Oh yeah,
rather
that
than
makes sense to me.
yeah.
Um, I do like that. I It's funny though. I don't think I've have any two-page spreads in this whole series though. Um, I just
No, you
don't
just have
think
lots of
I didn't have
pages.
enough. I didn't have
Everything
enough.
works really well
I didn't have enough
as
real estate with my stories to do that,
yeah,
unfortunately. It
yeah.
would have been cool.
No, as you say that, I realize I don't think at least in the first three issues that you do either. You just
Mm,
you so well constructed your spreads that so many of them feel like well, this one's almost a two-page spread. The
which
the
one's
the
that?
actual murder page.
Oh yeah, it's very close. It's very close.
Um because it looks like it's a spread
I've
with a
sort of
lot of
continued
inset
the background,
boxes.
even though it
Right.
shouldn't make sense, and it kind of doesn't
Right.
quite match up.
Right.
But I did kind of make that like a two-page spread.
Right. Ah, we could talk about this for forever, and we might have you back when it's done, and we could
Oh man, I
spoil
would love it.
more.
Yeah,
I've taken to really liking bringing creators back
sure.
when we can spoil things and like
Oh
spoil
yeah, yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. I would love it. That would be wonderful.
Um, but let's just talk comics in general. Tell me about your comics journey. Where have you been a comics fan all your life? Is it something that is like I'm having trouble in film, but I love writing? I mean, where
Mhm.
talk to me about you and comics,
I ended
starting from
up
wherever you feel like.
I was first into comics during the speculator boom in like the early 90s when Image started up.
Okay.
And that was the first time I was buying comics. I'm
Okay.
previous to that, I'd had friends that were very much into Marvel DC stuff. And I would see them, and
So
that
it
was
was the
about it.
speculator boom. So
It
were
was only
you
because it
two
like
questions? No,
we
no,
had
I
a
know the speculator boom, but my
it,
question is
mhm, mhm.
twofold. First, how old were you? And second, were you buying and reading, or were you that kid that's like, oh, I'm gonna get rich off of my Spawn number one?
No, I was definitely buying and reading
Okay.
and it basically there was a in the town in Iowa, Burlington, Iowa, where I grew up.
Okay.
We had a new comic store kind of show up along with this, right?
Right.
And so, and there was another comic spot for sure, but this one was sort of like, oh, I think this might be the place I go and check out comics every week. And so that's 100% what happened. And so that was when I first got into it, and then that lasted probably for like several years, and then it sort of fizzled out.
What?
Um, by the time I graduated high school, and so then during college and stuff, I was pretty much like, I'm gotta make movies. And in my mind, I was
Okay.
like, I don't have any room. I knew how hard it is to make movies already.
Right.
And so, and this is like 98. And so I was like, well,
Okay. So we're about the same age.
yeah, yeah. And I was like, I think I just have to put everything I got into making movies if I want to have a shot of being some kid from Burlington, Iowa that makes movies.
Right.
And so during college, that was all I focused on. And then towards the end of college, I new friends that I had made, and they were show me like, oh, well, if you do like comics, like you should check out Watchmen. And I was like, and there was a bunch of stuff that was just not on my radar after having become an adult. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That was like and like beyond that too, like just the whole world of like Daniel Klaus or like Richard or like Charles Burns or like like Chris
Probably. I mean,
Ware.
if you're having to be shown Watchmen, probably Vertigo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like all the stuff that basically is cool and interesting and fun and not and sort of off the beaten path and
Don't get me wrong.
comics.
I love superheroes as much as the next guy, but yeah,
Sure,
no,
sure.
that's where comics really are.
I mean, for me, it was just the widening up of like it can be
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. And it
Exactly.
can be really
Exactly.
interesting, weird stuff that's
Right.
not connected to
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
You know. And so that was when I was really like, oh, okay, I think I need to just reconnect with comics. And
Right.
so I would say probably around the time I moved to LA around 2006. I was getting more into comics, and it wasn't until though, like honestly, like 2016
Oh, wow.
that I was like, okay, I need to just start buying like every week again and find a store and
Okay.
make it my store and
This
every
means
Wednesday go
two
in.
things. The first thing is everybody's going to hate you almost as much as they hate Elsa Chartier for going from barely knows what a comic book is to
Mhm,
amazing in way too little time. Um,
mhm.
and second, it means you have so much to catch up on,
Oh yeah, a ton, a ton, a ton. A lot of my inroads to the big two books are through writers and artists. So
man. Right.
I'll do like Frank Miller runs on Daredevil and stuff
Right.
like that, and things like that,
I'm
or
not
like,
even talking about the big two, man.
oh sure, sure.
I'm not talking the big two at all. You can, if you've done the Frank Miller Daredevil and you've done like maybe Bendis Daredevil and something from Mark Waid, then you can be done with the big two for a while.
Okay.
I mean, if you love superheroes, we can find other ones.
Sure, sure, sure.
But I mean, God, I mean, have you ever gotten into European comics or
Oh,
manga?
100%. Like I'm very much into Mobius and
Right.
Jodorowsky and
Okay, good.
and then I'm also like right now I'm really into Manuel Fiore's stuff. His latest Hypericum finally came out
Yeah,
through Fantagraphics, and I've
is
bought it
very
and
much
I
on my
I
list.
haven't been able to read it yet, but he's a huge one for me right now. I
Okay.
also really like Guillaume Sangelin, who did PTSD, like maybe like in 2017, I want to say
I
it came
feel
out.
like I know
Um,
that one and haven't read it yet.
it's so good. But the those were like my two. Well, Manuel Fiore is Italian, but working from Paris, I think
Right.
still. And then Sangelin's definitely based out of France.
Okay.
But
Yes, that is definitely one that I have on my list to read, but haven't. As somebody with acute PTSD at times, um, that came out and I went,
maybe not. Yeah,
I'm not ready for it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
today.
And then also I've like
I
slowly been
think
getting it.
actually
Oh, go ahead.
it came out, yeah, it came out February 26, 2019.
Oh, okay.
So really what it
That
was,
came out in February 2019.
yeah. So
Far out.
so here's the thing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, as I mentioned, probably off air, but my listeners know, NIU, February of 2008,
Hmm.
my friends got shot at. Um,
Hmm.
Parkland, February of 2018, a bunch of high school kids got shot at.
Hmm.
So February is not my favorite month for thinking about PTSD.
Yeah.
And 2019 in particular was just a year removed from like having
Right.
all of my own wounds completely reopened as this new community got to live through what I'd lived through, which
Yeah.
which is the thing that I'm like a staunch leftist and therefore read so many and I'm a staunch empiricist. I'm more a leftist because I'm an empiricist than the other
Sure.
way around. It works better when we take care of people.
Right. Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Um, so the one place that I'll get annoyed is, there's a lot of leftists and they'll point out how minuscule a portion of our gun violence is mass shootings, even though it feels like we've got a ton of them.
Sure.
And while I say absolutely, they have an outsized impact on our social emotional well-being
Oh yeah. I
because
totally agree with that.
there were 600,000 people last Wednesday that every person that knew them, every person who knew that they might be at that parade, not even that they were at that parade, but
Right.
might be at that parade, didn't
Hmm.
know if they were alive for an hour.
Yeah.
My PTSD manifests itself through me hearing busy signals because that was the primary thing that I hear for like 8 or 10 hours that
Mm.
day is everybody was calling each other. And for the most part, you got a busy signal. And even when you got through, it's like, okay, thank God you're alive. I'm alive too. Have you talked to this person, this person, this
Oh my
person, this
God.
person? Oh, great. They're alive. I'll stop. And oh, this person's alive and this person's alive and this person's alive and this person's alive. We'll talk to you later. Hang up, call other people, get
Oh my
calls
God.
from I was getting calls from
Yeah.
people that I hadn't heard from in years, but
Oh my
who
God.
knew I was at NIU. I wasn't
Yeah.
even at NIU anymore. I'd left 3 weeks earlier. The money had run out 3 weeks earlier.
Oh
I
wow.
wasn't, but people didn't know.
Oh my
And for
God.
that matter, having only left 3 weeks earlier, I knew people there. So I was still part of that community.
Sure.
So it's like this huge thing. So that's why I've been meaning to read this book forever,
Oh
but I need to
man.
find the right moment.
Well, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's completely understandable.
And that
Um,
said, there was a great book recently that I did read, and I always forget the name of it. I have it upstairs, but I don't feel like that. There was a somebody who was at uh there was a junior college in Oregon that was the scene of an active shooter, and when she went to SCAD, the book that she wrote is about that.
oh, okay.
So there is a fantastic book out there, literally on surviving this thing that too many people have had to survive now.
Yeah.
And it's not just the people who like saw the gunshots that survive it.
Right.
And that's the part that people who haven't been close to it don't get.
Hmm.
Sorry, soapbox.
Oh man,
But
yeah.
yes,
No apologies.
this is
No
way high on
apologies
my list.
necessary.
For that matter, I even know that it's been taught. One of the reasons it's way high on my list is I know that there are couple classes in my high school that I think taught it at least once or
Okay.
twice. Because I've had students that I helped write about it.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if they had it as like a free reading book or if it was actually being taught, but I've had at least a couple of students that I've helped do writing assignments about this book. I just haven't read it yet. Um, but yeah, now I'll put it higher on my list because anytime, and that segues perfectly into my other favorite question to ask everybody, and this is the one that I'll ask you and then let you go because you've been kind enough to give me 2 hours of your time. And thank you so much, Patrick. And
Oh, you're
and
very welcome.
hopefully we'll do it again because this has been fun. Um, I like to ask creators because one of the things I've learned is comics creators read all sorts of weird comics all over the place whenever they've got the time. That last caveat being a major one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but also that an alarming number of comics creators also don't have a ton of people in their life that they get to talk comics about or that have read comics on nearly the level that they've read, etc. So, what is a book or multiple books or whatnot that you love that you don't get to talk to enough people about because it's like, how have you not read this book? How do you not know PTSD? How do you not,
Right. Right. Right.
yeah.
What is the? I mean, well, not to get into PTSD too much, but that one I've reread multiple times just because it weirdly is an interesting uh exploration of it and
No,
the
you should.
themes that he goes through. And I mean, the main thrust is essentially a soldier returning back to civilian life, and they have they basically were shot in the eye,
Right.
um, and then during warfare, and then have basically come back to living on the streets,
Right.
and then are very angry, and they are impossible for them to sort of click back into society. Um, Anyway, the I won't go too far into it because you really should read it. But
No, I'm as I'm reading, I have it up on Amazon right
oh, sure,
now.
sure.
I might even wind up tossing it into the digital basket sooner rather than later.
The I will
Because I'm
say
going,
this.
oh, after returning home from an unpopular war, June
Yeah.
becomes an outsider in an indifferent war. And I'm like, this also goes back to what we were talking about again, I think off air about who the unhoused really are.
Oh yeah, it's 100% part of that, and also substance abuse, and then just
Right.
also just the idea of community um caring for its people that are in it,
Right.
regardless of kind of whatever their backgrounds are. But yeah, so I do recommend that one super highly. Another one though is I already mentioned Manuel Fiore, but the his I'm trying to I don't want to say the actual title. It's like 5,000 kilometers per hour.
Oh yeah,
Have you read that?
I have.
Okay, so that one was, and this is more of a recent one for me because he just popped up on my radar like a year and a
5,000
half ago.
kilometers per second.
Per second, that's what it was. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. And
Yeah.
so that book blew my mind when I
Yeah.
read it. I wasn't expecting, like at first, he paints, for anybody that doesn't know that happens to be listening to this, like Manuel Fiore he's an Italian cartoonist who's currently based in, I think, France at the moment. Like, I think he's in Paris, but he primarily works, he paints everything in gouache. He also letters his own stuff. And he tells these very interesting sort of slice of life, you know, stories amidst different settings. This one is very much it's sort of split into like these chunks following these two people and how they initially are sort of, it's kind of romantic, but then they split apart, go about their own lives, and then they kind of reconnect later on in life, right? And those are sort of
Right.
the big broad stroke chunks. And what got me is the the economy of storytelling that he employs is so deft. Like it is
Yeah.
so lightweight and effervescent almost that you're just breezing through these like very substantial moments in these people's lives, and but all the important parts land super well.
Yeah.
Um, and he has just a very uncanny sense uh of showing the dramatic moments, like not like heavy drama, but just like any sort of these like emotional moments, whether it's happiness or sadness or outrage or whatever. But he's just so well, they're so well executed. And the thing that really struck me, like in particular, there's a scene, it's basically this man and this woman. The woman, they break off and then she goes off to live, I think, in like Sweden or something,
Sounds right.
for a bit, for her studies, and ends up finding a guy there that that the romance turns into. I think it's like the son of her the woman that she's staying with
Right.
while she's there studying. And then they end up, she stays, they get married, and they're having a child, and she's pregnant, and they're driving along. And at this point, it's obvious that like his professional life and there's a distance between them. And it also happens to be while she's very much in like it almost seems like the last trimester of her pregnancy. And there that's a weird time. That could be a very strange time for anybody going through that, especially if you're a woman and your body's changing so much and it's your first pregnancy and you're having this weird like inability to connect with your husband who seems kind of distant. And so there's this, and his concerns just seem to be like really like surface concerns, about whatever that he's kind of prickly about. And she's just trying to like reconnect with him on like a human level during this like
Right.
little sequence that you're following. And he's like going to the bathroom and she just like hops into she slips into the tub and just like disrobes and just goes into the tub to take a bath. And he's like, "What are you doing? I'm in the bathroom." Like, what do you know? Like, and she keeps trying to put it in these like playful moments of just like, trying to reconnect with him. And it's just not quite working. And then they're driving in a car and then he ends up kind of almost hitting this bicyclist as they're driving, and he's like really in his head, and he's just very angry, and there's obviously like this sort of darkness around him, and she is sort of obvious realizing that she's not like whatever's going on, like there's sort of a larger problem with her husband, and she doesn't quite like understand like whatever it is that he's hung up on, right? But she knows she doesn't want to be there. And so like this he hits this guy almost with a cyclist, and then they start having this back and forth, and then the driver, the husband's like, "I can't believe you're doing this. My wife's here pregnant." And then he looks and she's just like bolt, she left. She like just left.
Right.
She walked away, went off to go do whatever. And it's this great moment that just like is given enough space and enough poignancy to just sit and hold that moment. And the way that Fior like handles all that, I'm still sitting here thinking about this moment that
Right.
she just took and like they might get divorced. I
Right.
mean, it's such a great, huge, interesting, strange moment. And it really resonated with me like in the weirdest way. And
No,
so yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons I love reading comics in different formats, comics from different areas, is they all have different pacing, different
Mm-hmm.
feel. I've noticed that European comics in general, particularly mainland European comics, British are a weird mix between like American pacing and European pacing.
Sure.
But like have are much more willing to sit with the beats. I mean, kind of like we were talking about in your issue 3 of Beneath the
Mm-hmm.
Trees. You,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they're much more willing to draw out a moment
Yeah.
rather than we must go from action to action to action.
Sure.
Um, Whereas likewise, it feels like manga refuses to draw out moments, that they're always boom, 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 until
Mm.
you realize, oh my God, we just had an entire chapter that took place in the span of like 45 seconds or
Right, right, right.
3 minutes or whatever.
Sure,
That was
yeah.
our week's worth of this comic.
Yeah.
Because it's not that they draw it out by being like hyper granular, not by like here's the tea kettle and here's the door and here's the
Sure,
it's
sure,
like
sure.
here's this second and here's this second and here's this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could do it the other way too, but um yeah, that's what I appreciate about Fior, about so many Bande Dessinée artists is and they figured out ages ago that the folio is the proper size for a comic.
Oh yeah, it's quite nice.
I mean, I love that Distillery is like, yep, we're getting all of the best artists and creators, and we're making them European size. I know
Yeah.
you all complained about DC Black Label, enough so that DC's been going back and forth. Well, get used to it. You want the next Scott Snyder book? This is the size.
Yeah.
Because it's I mean, and I'm sometimes I have lots of minority, at least U.S. minority comic opinions, and one of them is that like my favorite size collection is the Absolute Edition. Give
Oh,
me
sure.
the like 60% bigger.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure, I love a paper comic and I buy the stuff that I really love. I gotta have in single issues, etc.
Hmm.
But to me, there's not a huge difference between reading digitally and reading a floppy. Um,
Oh, sure. Hmm.
and sometimes digitally is better because I can zoom in.
Yeah.
I'm not limited to my eyesight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, but give me that big oversized page.
And I mean, I'm working at about, it's about 10 and a half by 16 inches.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I mean, I'm putting in a lot of detail. A lot of that stuff I know is like not necessarily legible, but
yeah.
every once in a
Well,
while
you know,
you can read the needle in the
if you
haystack.
get an opportunity to do the oversized hardcover, I will
Oh,
totally buy it.
I will say I'm going to hang on to all my original art until I finish the trade, just to make sure that we have everything for that. But then I'm
Right.
also going to ensure that I have everything scanned just in case I get to do
Yeah.
an artist edition,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, even
because
if it's not an artist edition, I mean, you don't have to be oversized. Even if you can get like the,
yeah, that would be great.
the slightly bigger,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
you know.
that would be super cool.
Um,
The,
I mean, don't get
but
me wrong,
yeah,
the artist editions are great,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
but
that's what I'm
those can
saving for,
almost get
just in case.
unwieldy.
They can. I love the idea of just having an overwhelming book though, that's just like the full,
Right.
really well reproduced art. Um, but yeah, I do love that size, man, of like the
Well,
folio BD stuff.
it has been great to meet you, Patrick.
Yes, likewise.
We will absolutely have to have you back. Um, Look me up when you're in Chicago. Let me take us
Yeah,
out and then we'll chat for a few minutes. I
cool.
probably could have said all of that stuff that I just said after saying, let me take you out and we'll chat for a few minutes. But I'm a sped teacher first and a podcaster second. Just because we've done 300 some odd episodes doesn't mean we're good at it. Um, and Tyler sends his hello. He needed to give his daughter his attention. Um, but is sad to have missed you. So that's another reason you have to come back.
Yeah, I'd gladly love to come back.
We both love this book so much.
Oh,
So
thanks.
for Patrick Horvath, this has been 22 pounds. We will see you after the next page.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.